do need that audience.
It's Pride in San Francisco, everybody! Hey! All right, get ready! Get ready, Supervisor! We're taking over the city! Okay, are we ready to raise this flag? Yeah! Here we go. Woo! Woo!
Stranger way outside your door, San Francisco, here is your wandering one, saying I want to know more. Other places only make me love you best. Tell me you're the heart of all the Golden West. San Francisco, welcome me home again. I'm coming home to go roaming no more. Other places only make me love you best. Tell me you're the heart of all the Golden West. San Francisco, welcome me home again. I'm coming home to go roaming no more. No more.
Come on. Yeah.
I'm first?
You can do whatever you want, but yes.
I'm first?
You introduce Senator Wiener.
Oh, I was sitting down. I thought I was going to be able to watch the show. Welcome to the kickoff for San Francisco Pride! And I want to thank the Freedom Band, the LGBTQ Freedom Band, the official band of San Francisco. Thank you to the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus. Thank you to the Pride Board and our department heads, our commissioners, our king and queen and the royal court, and I mean, everybody's here. If you are not here, FOMO. It's your problem. But let me tell you, there is nothing like Pride in San Francisco. The thing that we do when we are at our best, Donna Sachet, is we celebrate, we have fun, we come together, and what we're experiencing now in raising the flag is pure joy and excitement about what this means for all the amazing events, activities, fun, and I'll let Scott Wiener talk about the really serious stuff in just a few moments. But we have come a long way. And I'm really proud of San Francisco. We continue to set the stage for the rest of the world to follow. And we know it's not easy even here in San Francisco. It takes a lot of courage to step out and to not only have an Office of Transgender Initiatives, the first in the country, but I gotta say, I'm so honored that Honey Mahogany has agreed to join our administration in doing this extraordinary work. And those investments will continue, and I know with her leadership, we'll see transformative things with the transgender community of San Francisco. But we know it doesn't stop there. Whether it's business investments, whether it's healthcare investments, whether it's art and culture, housing, you name it, this city has done extraordinary work with so many of the organizations and the people joining us here today. And I'm so grateful to have not only our members of the Board of Supervisors joining us, I saw Myrna somewhere around here, as well as Matt Dorsey and Rafael Mandelman, but I'm so grateful for our trailblazing LGBTQ department heads, including our groundbreaking fire chief, Janine Nicholson. And the rest of you guys, too. I just wanted to touch on just a few quick things because I don't know why Pride is timed right around budget season. But y'all know I can't show my face unless I make sure that those investments are taken care of. And from day one on the Board of Supervisors, Scott Wiener has been the person to say, Mayor, or at the time I was supervisor, we have to make sure that those federal cuts for HIV/AIDS that continue to come down the pipeline, that we continue to backfill them. And that has been the thing that I have done consistently every single year. And this year is no different, even during a budget deficit year. We have a bond that will help support not just Harvey Milk Plaza, where we can make it transformative so it is really truly the gateway to the Castro community with all of the rich history and vibrancy, but also City Clinic we know was very important to the community. So thank you all so much for your work and your advocacy. And let me tell you something, Suzanne, you're gonna have to get some more of that corporate money. Because we're giving a lot of city money, but we need your help too. And we got to call out all those corporations because they need to be investing in Pride to make sure that the parade, the events, and the activities, they want to walk down the streets and celebrate their Pride, they need to show me the money. We also restored funding in some of the flagship transitional age youth programs like Larkin Street and Lyric, and continue to fund the LGBTQ Center. We know that these things are extremely important. So now, stop giving me the evil eye. I took care of the needs, and I will continue to do everything I can to ensure that this community is not just supported in words, but it's supported in deeds. We know that this is an amazing city and we are looking forward to transformative change, and fingers crossed we may have a deal finally for a new building for the first ever LGBTQ museum in San Francisco. So I can go on and on and on and on, because we also have to take a moment to appreciate how far we've come. We have to always take a moment, even despite the challenges still going on, not just throughout the world for this community, but even in some cases right here in San Francisco. I was in the Bayview Hunters Point yesterday for a Pride event. That just shows you how far we've come. This was a building that at one point didn't welcome people like us. And the fact that we're in here taking over and celebrating Pride and being loud and proud about who we are and who we love and living our best lives, that is change. That is transformation. And that is why San Francisco is such an extraordinary city and why I'm so proud to serve as mayor of one of the best cities in the country. Thank you. And without further ado, oh, and I didn't even mention the first ever drag Laureate D'Arcy Drollinger. Oh, and also I definitely need to make sure that I mention the person who is always a big contributor and supporter of all events that we do for Pride. Thank you so much, Tom Horn, for all the work that you continue to do. Ooh, I'm gonna get in trouble for forgetting people. Please forgive me. But if I forgot you and you're mad, maybe Darcy might bitch slap me. You guys heard about her play, Bitch Slap? You missed a treat. Anyway, with that, I want to introduce someone who really is an extraordinary leader for this community, but an extraordinary leader in San Francisco. Let me tell you, This guy thinks of everything. He not only supports this community, but he supports all San Franciscans with policy, with thoughtfulness, and with the desire to work with people despite differences we may have here and there. I admire him so much and appreciate his work and his friendship. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome State Senator Scott Wiener.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And Madam Mayor, I just want to really publicly thank you. We have for 12 years been elected officials together, and you have just consistently been there for the LGBTQ community through the good times and the tough times, through the budget and making sure that our community receives the resources that it needs. You've always been there, and I'm just so deeply grateful. So thank you, Madam Mayor. So even though the mayor thinks I'm only about serious stuff, it's not true. I like the fun stuff too. And I wanted to say I am just so optimistic for San Francisco in general right now. We've gotten beaten up a lot the last few years. There is so much good happening in this city. There is so much vibrancy. People are out having fun, celebrating, connecting, and there is just an amazing energy in this city, and it makes me so optimistic that the best city on the planet is going to be even better. So I am just so excited about San Francisco, where we are and where we're going to be. And I know that this Pride Month, we're just going to blow it out. It's going to be even better than it usually is. And it reminds us that we have to support our amazing LGBTQ community organizations that do so much of the work. Like Pride, it doesn't just happen, it happens because of the work of so many committed staff and volunteers. And so let's always make sure to be there for our community-based organizations that help make this month happen. We do have some challenges. Now I'll get a little more serious. As with the city, I have the honor of serving as chair of the Senate Budget Committee this year, just in time for a massive budget deficit. And we have, it's a challenging budget year, but we are working very, very hard to make sure that our safety net, in particular, for our young people who are at risk of homelessness, our foster kids who are disproportionately LGBTQ, we need to make sure that even during the bad budget times that we are always there for these kids. These are our kids, and we need to make sure that we are lifting them up and giving them a path to success. So we are working very hard to make that happen. And because we now, and this shows that representation matters, 10% of the California legislature is now LGBTQ, 12 out of 120. And it's actually mostly not San Francisco, LA. We have queer legislators from all over the state, from the Central Valley, from the Inland Empire, from San Diego. It's an amazing and beautiful tapestry of our community and tapestry of California. And even though we know that so much of the hate directed at our community is happening in other states, unfortunately it's here in California too. And we know that we have school boards in particular in some very conservative areas that are demonizing and attacking our LGBTQ youth in ways that are so, so dangerous. And so about a week ago, our caucus, the 12 of us, we said not on our watch, and we introduced legislation to ban these forced outing policies that some school boards are starting to adopt. Because we know that for all of us, a lot of experience in this room in terms of coming out, in terms of when, if, how someone comes out to their parents, that is our decision and no one else's damn business. And we're going to make that clear in the law of the state of California. But as we fight all the nasty people out there who are trying to harm us, and we're going to beat them and we're going to win, let's celebrate. Let's have just a festive and uplifting month. I am so excited about it. Happy Pride, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Senator Wiener. Now, for those of you who need a seat, there are seats. The people who got their purses in the seats, move your purses so people can sit down. Y'all didn't think that was funny. But if you need to sit down, there are chairs for you to sit down. All right, and so, ladies and gentlemen, the Executive Director for SF Pride, Suzanne Ford!
Hello, everyone. Hello to my family. I see a bunch of you out there. Thank you, Mayor Breed, Senator Wiener, supervisors, city department heads, chiefs, distinguished guests. My name is Suzanne Ford. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the first transgender executive director of San Francisco Pride. Please forgive our board president. Wen Pham is in Sacramento to receive an award on behalf of San Francisco Pride from the LGBTQ caucus at the State Senate. So thank you, Wen. Since he is not here, I'm going to take care of a few things. First of all, I would like to recognize these two board members on the end here. Our former president and member of the board now, Carolyn Weisinger. And George Smith III. It must be stated, these people work for you year-round for free. And I used to do it for free, and I appreciate you. Okay. Well, you can't have my job. Now I'd like to recognize the Grand Marshals for the 2024 SF Pride, and if you are here, please stand up, wave at us if you're here. First, Rebecca Rolfe, the Executive Director of the LGBT Center. My friend, Xavier Davenport. Xander Breyer. I believe Leslie Einhorn from the CASA Children's After School Arts Program is here. Oh, okay. Thank you, CASA. And Nicole Adler. Oh, and finally, my sister, the incomparable Tori Teasley. There are staff members here from San Francisco Pride. I know you think there must be hundreds of us. There are only 5 of us. Chris Roberts, Robin Adams, Alina Chavez, and London Hugh. Please give them a warm welcome. Okay. All right, so the housekeeping's out of the way. I've done Wen's job. Now the remarks start. And I have to tell you that I have torn up this speech many, many times. This is a difficult time. There are many things that San Francisco must do. Mayor Breed, first of all, I want to thank you for the historic investment that you have made in San Francisco Pride. No mayor has ever supported San Francisco Pride like you have. Your staff, led by Victor, has put up with me and been very supportive, and I'm so grateful for that relationship. Supervisor Mandelman, thank you for your leadership and guidance. You and your staff endured a frantic, inexperienced executive director, and I appreciate you. There are so many of you here today that I and SF Pride owe so much. Marcy Edelman, I'll cry. I can't say enough about how you have helped us and what you've meant to me. Angel Adeyoha from Folsom. All my young queer advisors, like my daughter Spring and Nico. The list goes on and on. Tina, Michelle, Gael, Brianna, Monique. I could sit up here for a long time because they are all here supporting us because we are in a family together. In relationship, SF Pride continues to grow and change and to look different and to be more inclusive. Our mission at San Francisco Pride is to educate the world, commemorate our heritage, celebrate our culture, and liberate our people. Our job at San Francisco Pride is to construct and hold a container for the LGBTQIA community to come together, to define and implement that mission. We must challenge each other, and we must accept that at SF Pride, especially on what it means to liberate our people. We know that there is a boycott SF Pride movement from progressive pro-Palestinian members of our community. We acknowledge your right to boycott. We know the platform that we create can be used to amplify queer liberation. We will continue to love you and hope to be in relationship with you. There is much work to do. We know that there are some decisions and practices of SF Pride that are being criticized. We accept that. However, I want to clear up a few things. First, the San Francisco Pride Board called for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza over 3 months ago. 2, we have not and will not request additional police at Pride. We do not control that decision. We strive to create an atmosphere where police-community interaction at Pride is minimal. 3, we have not and we will not ever refer to pro-Palestinian protesters as terrorists. Again, much of this group are our community members. And 4, there are no Israeli floats at SF Pride. There are Jewish community groups participating. They are welcome to participate and celebrate their queer culture at our celebration. Finally, why is holding SF Pride even important? I've been asked that a lot lately. This year, our theme is Beacon of Love. The world looks to San Francisco to demonstrate that a city does not merely tolerate, but celebrates the LGBTQIA community. We will do that again this year. We will send a message to young queer people all over the country that here in San Francisco, you can be your authentic self. You can love who you love. You can be fabulous here in San Francisco. The cost for all of this is loving one another, even when we have principled disagreements. Today, we pledge to do just that. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne, for the clarification and an amazing speech in celebrating Pride. The first word I think of when I think about this next speaker is fabulous. And San Francisco is a fabulous city, so of course there is a fabulous person representing us as the first ever drag laureate in the world, D'Arcy Drollinger.
Oh my goodness. Well, hello. And it fills my heart with really so much joy and pride to be standing here with you all today. And I just got to say, I just finished a comedy I wrote and directed and starred in. And there are plenty of cities around the country where the mayors want to put drag performers in jail. And our mayor came and saw it twice and showed up, paid for tickets, tipped the bartenders. That is real time support. And we can talk and talk and talk, but she did show up for me, so thank you.
It was so good.
Okay. So, Pride isn't confined to just one weekend, even 1 month. Pride, for me, is a mindset that we carry every single day. It's a mindset that continually needs to be nurtured and exercised. It is very important, and we should. No, we must. We must exercise that. We must take pride in who we are, not just for ourselves, but for all the people around the world who live in places where they can't exercise their own pride. They can't walk down the street prideful of who they are. They're forced to hide their pride. So we must show it. I often speak about the importance of living authentically, embracing our fabulous selves, not only to enrich our lives, but also to inspire those around us, to ultimately affect positive change. We have the freedom, so yes, we must take advantage, and I know that it can be challenging to maintain our spirits in the face of adversity, especially when the world around us feels like a freaking dumpster fire, sometimes chaotic and uncertain. It can seem completely inappropriate to be fabulous at times like this, like we should shut off that part of us, when really this is exactly when we must do it. This is the time to be fabulous. These are the times we've been rehearsing for, because if we can show up at the table, if we can show up for the hard stuff as our authentic self, when we can bring truth and joy and love to the table, we can have honest dialogue. We can find common ground, and we can comfort one another. The key to authenticity, though, is pride. We can't be fabulous unless we're proud of who we are. I'm extremely lucky to live in a city where I can be proud of who I am, and a city that genuinely is proud of me and my community. It's true. As I said, Pride is 365 days a year. But what makes this month of June special is that we get to shine a light on how amazing we are. So let's flip on the spotlight, let's get out the glitter, and let's turn up the fabulous. Or, as the kids say, slay the house down, boots, yes, mama, work, hunty, diva, oh, cut! I'm gonna leave that right there.
All right, so we have the trifecta here today. You guys wonder what that is? It's like our Board of Supervisors members, and so they will be coming to speak in order. Supervisor Mandelman, Supervisor Dorsey, and Supervisor Engardio.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I love this event so much. Looking out and seeing, our queer community in all of its many manifestations, the leadership in arts and culture and nonprofits, and all of the department heads and city workers who do such amazing jobs. Tom Horn and Madam Mayor, thank you for bringing us together. This really is one of my very, very favorite events of the year. I want to say a word about Honey Mahogany for taking on a really important job in San Francisco. And we have been blessed. We've had Claire Farley and Pau Crago, and they have done amazing work. And I think it says a lot about San Francisco that as a city, we center our queer policy work in an Office of Transgender Initiatives at a time when the rest of the country and lots of parts of the world are viciously attacking trans and non-binary folks, gender non-conforming folks, and using them as a political tool to advance some of the worst policies. That San Francisco centers that work in an Office of Transgender Initiatives, and we now have an amazing leader who is going to lead not just San Francisco in this regard, but the whole wide world. Thanks, honey. All right, now I should hurry up and get out of here. But I want to say the mayor, really enjoys outgaying the gays. It's fun for her, and she's right. She is more fun than I am. But I have to say, I think Scott Wiener is more fun than people know. I think he's a lot of fun. He really is. But this mayor has, and she spoke about some of the things she's done, but you can't actually list all of the investments she has made. She and I have served basically for this almost the same 6 years at least. Well, she'd been on the board for a long time, but she's been mayor and I've been on the board of supervisors, and I've seen each June as this new slew of investments come out. And as I am the one of the gay supervisors now, but the gay supervisor representing the Castro, I see this year finally we're coming close to getting some projects done that we have been working on for the entire time that we have been in office. The Harvey Milk Plaza, for folks, and that is a 10-plus year long project that Senator Wiener was working on when he was back being a supervisor, and Andrea Aiello is here, and some of the other friends of the Harvey Milk Plaza who have been working on this along with folks in the Public Works Department, the Arts Commission. This has been going on forever. And to now finally have the prospect of a funding source to pay for there to be an appropriate memorial to Harvey Milk in the city and the neighborhood that gave the world Harvey Milk, that is amazing and that is important. And thank you, Madam Mayor, for putting that into that bond. And we're going to see it done, but it's not just that. We're going to see an LGBT history museum built, and we are or not just built, we're getting the building, people. And Roberto and Ani and all the folks who've worked to make that dream happen. I don't want to jinx it, but I think we are really, really close, and I am very, very excited about that. And finally, I think, a lot of us have had anxiety about the Castro as a neighborhood that isn't always all that great for our youth. And thank you, Madam Mayor, for the work you've done to backfill, to bring those funds back for Lyric and some of the other providers. But that isn't a place where people can age. And the mayor bought a property where we are going to have 200 units of housing for queer people to age, low-income queer folks, so that when you get evicted from your unit in the Castro that you've lived in for 30 years, that doesn't mean you're moving to Sassoon City. It means you're moving down the street to an open house building. And to Marcy Edelman, the godmother of queer senior housing, who actually had the dream back in the Agnos administration. Thank you, Marcy, for your work. Thank you, Madam Mayor, for making it happen. And now, I'm not the only gay anymore. It's fine. It's fine. I'm really excited to serve with Matt Dorsey and Joel Engardio. Come here, Matt Dorsey.
Thanks so much, and happy Pride, everybody. Just a few months ago, we were here celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Winter of Love, and it occurs to me that that's just one example of the things this city has done to make history and to lead progressive change. And it's important that we remember that that's really core to what San Francisco is all about, and the work that we're doing to advance the cause of LGBTQ plus equality isn't done. And it's something that we lead from a place of love, and that's why one of the things that I really love about this year's Pride is that its slogan is a beacon of love. And whatever our disagreements are, that we can lead from that place. And I am so excited. And Senator Wiener mentioned just how all the energy that's going on. I tell you, Saturday night, I had a long day of events that I was going to, and I was really looking forward to having a quiet night at home, a quiet night until I realized there's 25,000 teenagers having a rave across the street. And it's what a way to kick off with Skrillex and Fred again of an energetic Pride. And I'm seeing crowded Muni buses and trains, and I got so many restaurant openings, I can't find time on my calendar for it. And San Francisco's comeback is underway, and thank you, London Breed, for leading it. This is great, and Pride is going to be a big part of that. I am looking forward to being at the Pink Triangle celebration too this weekend. I am also honored to represent home of D'Arcy Drollinger, our drag Laureate District 6, where the Pride Parade begins and ends. Happy Pride, everybody. Let's celebrate. And let me introduce our colleague, Joel Engardio.
Thank you. So this morning I was in the Sunset. I represent the Sunset on the far west side of San Francisco. I had 2 school graduations I was giving the commencement speech for, Lowell High School and the middle school students at Lawton. And while I was sitting up there waiting to give my speech, I thought to myself, wow, when I was in middle school and in high school as a closeted gay kid in the 1980s, it sure looked bleak. But there I was speaking to the future of today, and I know we've come a long, long way. So it's because of the work that we've done as a city and county of San Francisco, and many of the people I'm seeing in the audience today over the years and decades who have made it so that our children today do not have as bleak of a future as I might have had in the 1980s. That said, there is so much work we need to do. Our transgender community is under attack, and we must do everything we can to rally around to make sure that everyone in the LGBTQ community can survive and thrive in our country and in our world. And so I'm really proud to be the newest LGBTQ member of the Board of Supervisors. I hope we can have more, and thank you for celebrating the pride of San Francisco.
Thank you, supervisors. The trifecta. Come on, you guys, we got to get excited. I also want to mention that the Pink Triangle still needs volunteers. Patrick Carney is here, so please show up and show out and help with that project. And there's so many activities that are going to be going on in San Francisco. There are party, events, exhibit openings, galleries. I mean, just you name it, it's going to be lit in San Francisco. And I'm excited about what that means. But I also want to just take a moment to ask one more person to say a few words, because Honey Mahogany, as many of you know, just became the director of the Office of Transgender Initiatives. And she was, in fact, responsible for helping to formulate this office, the transgender district in the Tenderloin community, and she's done so much more. And I wanted her, since this is like her inaugural event as this, I mean, she's been around, you all know her. She's done a lot of work in the political world, led the Democratic Party here locally, worked for Assemblymember Matt Haney, and it goes on and on. Before that, though, she has always been an incredible part of inspiration and support for this community. So I wanted to ask Honey Mahogany to say a few words.
Wow. Well, what an introduction. First, I want to thank Mayor Breed for her leadership and for her appointment. I am beyond honored to be taking this role. And, frankly, Mayor Breed and I haven't always agreed on everything. But I think it is a testament to her leadership, to her vision for San Francisco, and her commitment to the city that she appointed someone who she knew or she felt would do the best possible job and what is right for San Francisco. So again, Mayor Breed, thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for all of your commitment to the transgender community. I mean, when we look across the country and what is happening right now, and I promise not to spend too much on the negative, but we have currently, in this year alone, 500 pieces of anti-LGBTQ legislation. Much of that legislation targeting the trans community and specifically trans kids and their families. I have had the opportunity to work with people all across the country and organizations all across the country who are currently organizing against some of this hateful legislation. Organizations like Southern Equality, who I don't know if you've heard, but made some historic wins in Florida, basically making the Don't Say Gay bill basically ineffective. So there are incredible people doing the work across the country, and yet we know that trans kids and trans families are currently still under attack and face very real life consequences. We're already seeing the consequences here in San Francisco. We're seeing an increase of trans people coming to the city because this city is safe. It is within a sanctuary state. It is a sanctuary city for many, many communities, and it has been a leader for the LGBTQ community, but specifically for the trans community. I mean, while they're doing bans for bathrooms to prevent people from being able to use the bathroom, here in San Francisco, the Office of Transgender Initiatives is leading the fight to ensure that we have inclusive bathrooms in every single city building. While in other places in this country, they are, banning books, while they are kicking kids out of their houses and putting them out onto the street, Mayor Breed has started an initiative to end trans homelessness here in San Francisco. And thankfully, we get the opportunity to work in partnership with so many incredible trans-led and trans-serving organizations, many of which are here today: Lion Martin, Lyric, the SFLGBT Center, the GLBT Historical Society, Taja's Coalition, TGIJP, the Transgender District, and so many more. Lavender Phoenix, I mean, I could go on and on and on. We are so lucky here in San Francisco, but we can't rest on our laurels. We must continue fighting. We must continue investing in LGBTQ communities, in the resources that support those communities, because I know it's trite, but it's needed what is that saying? Now more than ever. Now more than ever, we need those investments. So again, thank you, Mayor Breed, for all of your leadership. I know that you hold the trans community close to your heart. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for this appointment. Thank you for this incredible celebration. And lastly, I want to thank my staff at OTI. Please give it up for Shane, Osri, and Cherry, who have been so welcoming, who held down that office for months until I was brought on board. Thank you for your leadership. I'm going to be relying on you, and the community is going to be relying on you. And finally, this is Pride Month. Mayor Breed and I are both San Francisco hometown girls, and it's a very special time, a time to celebrate all of our rich history, including the Imperial and Ducal Courts who are here with us today, our organizations like the Gay Freedom Band, I already mentioned the GLBT Historical Society. It's a time to celebrate all we have done, all we have won, and who we are as a city. So one more time for the incredible leadership of Executive Director Suzanne Ford.
Yeah.
Thank you for all your sacrifice, your leadership, your words today, and all of your investment in this community.
Yay!
And with that, I think I'm the last speaker, so happy Pride, San Francisco!
All right, thank you. Thank you, honey, Mahogany! All right, let the fun begin. You all know there's gonna be fun and excitement, and I don't wanna see a frown on anybody's face the whole month of June. You can get mad after June, but June, there's only happy people enjoying San Francisco. So we have some refreshments and some excitement again. Thank you to the Freedom Band and to the Gay Men's Chorus and to all of you who are joining us here today. We are excited to celebrate Pride, and shoot, I don't even want to go back to work. I just want to have fun with all of you. So thank you everybody for being here. We're so excited to welcome you in City Hall. And enjoy, stay as long as you want until the building closes. All right.